Nigerians who've suffered a lot. We've heard of people that have fainted in the bank, people died, people lost their life, some bank lost their property, a lot of things. But we hope something good comes out from this. Welcome to this episode on Noble TV. For the past 4 weeks, Nigerians will be bedeviled with a lot of challenges, especially as it relates to the Naira design policy of the central bank. Just this week, Supreme Court gave a judgment. First was that the limit on withdrawal is null and void, and also that they can use the old Naira notes and the new Naira notes concurrently till the end of the year. That's December 2023. We need to look at this, and amongst other things is my very good friend, Dr. Chidi Peters. Dr. Chidi, you're welcome.
Yeah, Noble. Good evening, and good evening, our listeners.
Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you very much.
Let's start with Naira design. We're here to hear from the CBN, but the Supreme Court has given a judgment that the old notes and the new notes should be used concurrently till the end of the year. Do you think the central bank or the federal government will hearken to that judgment?
Well, the federal government have no option because if we must continue to disobey court orders in this country, it shows that we don't want the independence of the judiciary. And of course, the judiciary is a very important arm of the government. And of course, is where the common man seeks justice and get justice. So federal government must compel itself to respect this particular judgment. They must purge itself of excessive brigandage of draconian laws and disobedience of court orders. This is a welcome development. Nigerians have suffered in the past 2 months, where somebody will leave his house to go to the bank to access funds and need, and the person gets only 1,000 naira. Is it transportation or not, or what? And of course, the banks have been in the receiving end, where banks are ignorantly being destroyed by angry customers, thinking the banks are actually holding their money. But it's not the fault of the bank. The bank received instruction from the central bank, and any iota of disobedience of central bank order could result to withdrawal of license or something worse. So, but you find banks losing their buildings, banks losing their ATM machines, banks having their staff being battered by angry mobs. So Nigerians are angry. Then the Supreme Court have just saved the situation. But I'm worried. I'm worried in the sense that we learned that the central bank have destroyed the old Naira notes.
That's speculation.
So that's what they say, they have destroyed.
I don't think CBN has come out to give us that.
Well, we heard, like I said,
okay.
Or it is reported that they have destroyed. So if they have destroyed, that's another issue. Whatever central bank is doing, of course, we can see the effects on dollar. Dollar in the normal market now is at 400 something per dollar.
Yes.
But that notwithstanding, the economy is reviving.
Yes.
In the past 1 month or two, we have not had a hostage taking, we've not had a kidnapping. It's a wonderful program, excellent economic plan, but at the same time, Nigerians are suffering. And of course, the federal government must find a way to rescue Nigerians. And of course, the Supreme Court have passed a judgment, and the federal government are compelled by law to respect the judgment.
You know, you've been using the word the federal government. You understand? You know, when this case went to court, when the governors took the federal government to court, they didn't take CBN to court. And when Supreme Court said the CBN should stay proceedings, they shouldn't collect this money, they should hold on until the court gives a judgment, CBN still went ahead, say they are not banned by that instruction from the Supreme Court. Now that Supreme Court has given this judgment, do you think the CBN, I'm using the word now, the CBN, do you think the CBN will comply with that directive of the Supreme Court?
Well, the CBN is under the federal government of Nigeria.
Yes.
And of course, the Mr. President have told us that he is the one who give directive for the economic plan and the right design and the cashless policy and so on and so forth. Now, the court have compelled the federal government to withdraw its steps. So, the federal government should communicate to the Central Bank of Nigeria. Based on this judgment, stay action.
Well, it's okay. Like you said, we believe the federal government will communicate to the central bank, and we look waiting for the central bank to give the directive to the banks.
Yes.
The banks will not take directives straight from the
But
Supreme Court. They'll wait to hear from
I'm just
CBN.
surprised that to date, the central bank have not spoken about this matter. To date, the federal government have not issued a statement in this matter. So does it mean that they want to disobey the court again?
I should be asking you.
If they do that,
yes,
that is draconian. That is unacceptable.
Well, we've heard that. I believe the central bank and the federal government will give a statement within the soon. You understand, to help us resolve that and know what the stand is. Because, like you said, Nigerians have suffered a lot. We've heard of people that have fainted in the bank. People died. People lost their life. Some bank lost their property. A lot of things. But we hope something good comes out from this. And also, let's go back to the withdrawal limit. The Supreme Court has said the withdrawal limit is null and void, that the banks are not supposed to limit what customers can draw from their account. Do you think this is a welcome development?
The withdrawal limit didn't start with Emefiele. It has been there, where you have some number of money that will be paid across the counter, where you have the volume of money that you sign across the counter check and the transfer. So it has been there, where you have an amount of money you want to transfer and the bank makes some reduction from it. So it has been there, just that there's an increase. If the central bank says, okay, it's 20,000, they should make the 20,000 available. After all, 90% of Nigeria don't even have 500,000 in their account to withdraw. After all, 80% of Nigeria don't even spend 20,000 a day. So if they say it's 20,000, they should make the 20,000 available to people.
They can't say, if they say it's 20,000, it's going against the Supreme Court judgment. Supreme Court said nothing like the limit withdrawal should be taken off.
No, the central bank, if the actual judgment, they want to do them social judgment, that means the central bank have to go back to the beginning of the matter, because it starts today. There have been cash limitation, even withdraw across the counter in some banks. Anything less than 100,000, you do it out with the ATM, and if you need more, you come in. But ATM can only give you 100,000. So cash limit has been there since. So they say it's not a today policy.
It's okay. Looking at these two judgments on the Naira design policy and also on the withdrawal limit, do you think it is a welcome development? What do you think is the consequence for the economy and for the poor Nigerians?
The issue is the Naira, whether old or new, they should make it available to Nigeria. They calculate the limit policy of 200 Naira, that is 20,000 Naira. They should make it available to Nigerians. When they make it available to Nigerians, things, economy will revive better. That is about the matter. Then anything less than more than 20,000 you want to transact, you go to the bank and do that, or you can use your alternative mobile banking system.
It's okay. Well, whatever the policy is, like Mr. Chidi is saying, that the CBN should make it available, the bank should make it available. They should allow people access to their monies, because that's been the challenge that we're having. So I believe the CBN and the banks, the federal government, virtually all necessary stakeholders who are listening, we need to see how we can help resolve this impasse and help the Nigerians out there. Mr. Chidi, your final word for our audience.
My final word, in as much as we are also advising the central bank to see how to ensure that this money is available, also encouraging the banks to ensure that the networks are working, because a lot of them networks are not working. However, just subscribe, share, comment, like, and give us a call and send messages.
Thank you so much. From us at Noble TV, my name is Noble Arinze. Remember, like what Mr. Chidi said, like, share, comment, and subscribe.